Good morning. I'm Alisa Z. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday morning here with us on the Sunday edition. I am chatting via Zoom with a remarkable gentleman, Chris Lambert with Life Remodeled. Good morning, Chris. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, Alisa Z. It has been way too long, but I'm glad we get to live in the moment now and be together.
Yes, I agree 1 bajillion%. I don't know how many zeros are after that, but they are. For the uninitiated folks who haven't heard us chat before, tell us, what is Life Remodeled?
Life Remodeled is a Detroit-based nonprofit, and we bring together communities and organizations to help revitalize Detroit in an equitable and sustainable way. So we focus on one community at a time, 1 4 square mile area. We do three things. Number one, we mobilize 10,000 volunteers every year to beautify that 4 square miles, of which I'm sure many of your listeners have participated. Number two, we repair owner-occupied homes. And the third and most important and most impactful thing we do is we acquire a vacant school building in that community, and we repurpose it into a one-stop hub of opportunity that benefits entire families.
Give me a for instance of a building that has been repurposed and a neighborhood that has been revamped. Talk to me, because people need to be able to visualize somehow, even though it's kind of impossible because what you do is massive each time.
For instance, imagine Harry Potter's school. And I really mean that literally, because when I tell people that we repurpose schools, they think about like modern, not so attractive looking school buildings. Imagine, what is it, Hogwarts, right?
Yes, I think so. You have kids that age. Mine are older, so yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm on that one. So the building we repurposed most recently is the former Durfee Elementary Middle School, which is right next to Central High School. And all the students were moved by the school district from Durfee into Central High School's building. And so what we did with Durfee, it's this beautiful neo-Gothic architecture, slate roof, marble walls, plastic crown moldings, 143,000 square foot building, is we have filled it with the best and brightest nonprofits and several for-profit entrepreneurs in the city of Detroit, 39 organizations to be exact. We're 100% occupied. We got a waiting list. And these organizations are serving over 2,500 kids with youth programs, 4,500 adults with good sustainable jobs, and over 10,500 children and adults with various community resources.
That is unbelievable. So, Chris, Life Remodeled obviously does so much good work in the community. And I know that one of the many things that's so important to you is to shine a light on some of the people who are also doing remarkable things. Business owners, coaches, educators, students, volunteers, and principals of schools, who we're going to have on in just a moment or two. Tell me about this new billboard campaign that has been launched.
Yep, you nailed it. The campaign's called Lean On We. And I would say, like most successful nonprofits, our organization, Life Remodeled, has done a great job showcasing the generosity of incredible donors, corporations, individuals, foundations. But oftentimes, I think the heroes in the community who may not be writing six-figure checks, but are doing just as much impact, often don't get the spotlight that they deserve. And that's what this 3-month campaign is about. 10 billboards. Right now, 4 of them are on 75, 96, 94. And one of the honorees right now is on the call with us, Principal Webb. Principal Webb is a dream principal. My parents were educators, so I know a little bit about the honor and challenges of being in education. And Principal Webb, day in and day out, is a superhero, superstar. And, collaboration on these projects is everything. Mm-hmm. So we have nothing but amazing things to say about her work ethic, her character, her partnership. And that's what the Durfee Innovation Society is so successful. That's why it's so successful, is because of our partnership with her and her students. And so she's on a billboard on I-75 northbound in between 8 Mile and 9 Mile. And I'd love to just, let her share her story, because she's incredible.
Wonderful. Good morning, Principal Webb. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm wonderful. After listening to all those great things, I think you're going to make me blush, Chris.
Where are you the principal?
I am the principal at Central and Durfee. So Central High School is the oldest public school building in Michigan. And now, so Central is my first year as principal. I was the elementary middle school principal at Durfee for the past 4 years. So this is my first year. What are we, 5 days in? K to 12 campus now.
Remarkable. And in your spare time? Oh, kidding. So how,
Right.
that is well, and I know that Chris takes what people do, the good people do in the community, very seriously. That is one of the reasons I am so drawn to Chris Lambert and Life Remodeled, because he understands the importance of everybody doing their part. And even though I am sure you are a humble soul, Principal Webb, it's important for us to help tell your story, one, because you deserve it, and two, because you'll inspire others. Talk to me, please, about when you heard from Chris and he said, well, Principal Latoya Webb, your face is going to be on a billboard. What was your reaction to that?
Chris knows I'm not a spotlight person. I definitely believe in everybody doing their part, and it's just my part comes natural. So to highlight me in a billboard is like, oh, okay, I will do it. Because we have that partnership and friendship that I, he says yes and I'll say yes.
Right.
So, and now I'm on a billboard. So thank you. My students have told me they've seen my pictures, my family. So it is exciting. I do appreciate that.
Have you seen your billboard?
I have. I have.
And have you
Yes,
told all of your family members to drive by and look at it, or have you told them not to?
Yes. No, we carpooled.
That's great. That's great. Honk if you love Principal Webb, right? That's what... The challenges, Principal, right now of being an educator obviously are very different than what we've seen in years past. There are always challenges even under the best of times, but being in education right now through the pandemic and such divisiveness throughout the country, the city, the region, how are you helping to instill positivity in your faculty, in your staff, and therefore in your students so that people are united in their causes versus divisive?
So we are in a recovery stage right now. We're trying to recover the learning loss, recover how we re-enter school.
Mm-hmm.
We are in re-engagement, trying to get our students, our staff, community re-engaged and back to what is our new normal. We all have our mask on, but it is difficult and it is challenging because one, we have lost contact with some of our students, and so just trying to find those students to re-engage them and find those families to re-engage them with the DIS right next door. It has created a bridge for
Mm-hmm.
that partnership because they didn't lose track necessarily with the community, although sometimes with the technology we lost track.
Right.
So just being able to make sure we maintain that partnership, because as our families come in, their needs are great, and it's so easy to just point them next door to a whole facility full of resources. So it is going to be difficult this year, but I know that together we are going to be able to create success stories for our students and our families. And while we continue to try to re-engage them and make school fun again, with
Yes.
Life Remodeled DIS right next door. So the arcade, we are, and even our teachers are participating in the activities over there. So definitely our goal is to make school fun again and to re-engage our families and community. And I think we have the right roadmap to do so. It's just getting everybody on our road with us. So
And
that is a work in progress.
yes, and with proper leadership like Principal Latoya Webb. Chris, what was the turning point when you were deciding who to put on the billboards? And you said, Principal Latoya Webb has to be up there. Was there one specific notion that made you say, all right, she's amazing on all fronts, but especially because of this, we have to focus on Principal Webb? What would that moment have been?
I'm convinced everything in life rises and falls on leadership. And you heard Principal Webb say, hey, I'm not a spotlight person. Well, you know what? she lives that way, and that she is always who you see at all times, and it is always a dedicated, hardworking public servant who is constantly thinking of the children and her educators and her teachers first. And we thought of her for this even before the pandemic, but I want to draw a special highlight. I think sometimes we forget because we all have challenges right now, COVID-19, Delta variant, but what educators are going through. All right. They didn't just get to go home after school at 3 o'clock and
Mm-hmm.
grade a few papers and watch a Netflix show. They had to deal with meeting after meeting after meeting of how do we pivot? How do we go from here to there? And guess what? Here we are in the Delta variant. And I'm going to tell you, Principal Webb is shining through this very chaotic moment, and everyone's looking to her to see how is she going to react? Is she going to remain calm? Is she going to continue forward with strong vision? And she does all those things day in, day out. And so her story needs to be told.
I think you're making her blush a little bit, Chris, but that's
I know.
okay. You deserve to, Principal. You deserve to. Chris, we just have a few minutes left. Will you mention a couple of the other honorees? I know we won't have time for all 10 that will be up, but some of the others, Chris?
Yeah, I'd love to highlight a student, Sarah. Sarah is actually a student at Renaissance High School, but her grandmother lives in this community and is very active on the Life Remodeled Community Advisory Council. Well, Sarah is involved in the Life Remodeled Youth Advisory Council. She gets engaged in after-school programming, tutoring, and reading and math, and Sarah is constantly giving her time outside of school here in this community. You've got Teresa Clarington, who's a Detroit firefighter. She lives 5 houses away from Durfee. And when she started her business, Teresa Singleton, she decided to launch it here in the Durfee Innovation Society. And not only is she offering this great retail shop in the community, but she gives out free suits to young men going into job interviews. She's constantly serving at various events. And really, we could go on and on with all 10 honorees, but we'll roll out a different honoree story on our website each and every week. And you're going to see more billboards every month over the next 3 months. And I think it's just great to enjoy and celebrate the 4 individuals that are shining stars on the highways right now.
I love it. I also love the name Lean On We. What's the website, Chris? And then tell me, who came up with Lean On We?
The website is liferemodeled.org. And I want to give a special shout out to our marketing and design partners, Seeds Marketing and Design out of Birmingham. They came up with that concept. And we do have a very special treat planned for the end of this campaign. Those of you who know Life Remodeled and know Detroit Youth Choir know that we work together regularly. And we're going to be working on a special song, a new rendition of Bill Withers' Lean On Me into Lean On We. And that's going to be a really great music video, but everyone's going to have to stay tuned for when that's going to be released.
I just got chills just thinking about that, Chris. Oh, that's going to be amazing. Principal Webb, before we go, what words of advice, encouragement, guidance do you have for parents who are nervous about the school year on not only the usual fronts when we send our kids to school, but because of everything else that we're confronting right now? Can you distill down 60 seconds of wisdom from the wonderful Principal Webb?
So safety is always our priority, and even in the pandemic, making sure that our students are staying masked up. I'm on my custodians every day, every night to make sure that we're cleaning the buildings, cleaning the restrooms, and just maintaining a safe social distance. Mm-hmm. So no parents are leery. However, we do have to get back to school and get back to what's normal, and just trusting that the leaders or the schools you send your children to are doing their very best to make sure that everyone remains safe, because I also have a family that I have to go back home to. So, and I want to stay safe. So I make sure all of my students and staff members are staying safe right now.
Wonderful. Chris, do you have 30 seconds for us of inspiration? I just know you do.
I just want to say thank you again, Principal Webb, for who you are, for what you do. And I wanted to say thank you to all of Detroit Public Schools, educators, staff, administrators. It takes a village to raise a child. We are in this with you together. Teamwork makes the dream work. And all the listeners out there, sending good vibes and prayers for our kids in our district. Thank you.
Thank you to both of you. Chris Lambert, Principal Latoya Webb, I'm so grateful for the work that you're doing. And to all the listeners, I'm grateful you've spent your morning with us. Once again, I'm Alisa Z. You're listening to the Sunday edition.